Nathan, obviously there's, some injuries and things happening here, and you get another call up here. How does it feel to be up as this team gets ready to go to Vegas and Utah?
Yeah, no, obviously it's a nice trip, but just getting the call last night was I was really happy. I was actually on my phone with my dad, and Ryan Parent called me, so I was pretty happy. And obviously everything turned quick, but happy to be here.
And what is it kind of like in the position that you're in, where like you know that you're sort of on that list to be called up, you have to sort of pack up and come and go? Like, is it almost like you're used to it in a way with different opportunities that you've had?
Yeah, a little bit. Obviously, it's my second call up this year, and last time was in Washington and also Tampa. So I guess my suitcase was ready. I'm lucky to have my fiance, so she helped me a lot. She was cooking dinner last night while I was doing my suitcase, but no, she's been great, and obviously it's part of the job, and I know my role, so it's good.
What has it sort of been like for you down in Utica this season, and when it comes to your game in particular? And we've seen, unfortunately here in New Jersey, a lot of guys have had to have those call-ups, and they've grabbed onto those opportunities.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's you look at XP, he was pretty good with us in Utica, and I think he deserved that call-up, and I've watched all the games since he's been here, and I think he's been doing great also with Crooks. But no, I think it's a new opportunity, and like you said, I know my role. I know what I can bring to the team to help the team win, and that's what I wanted to do.
And is that something that just like Sheldon says to you, right? Like that, we know who you are, you know who you are. That's all we're asking of you here.
Yeah, I haven't spoke with him this morning because it was pretty
quick turnaround.
Yeah, quick turnaround. But last time I was in, obviously I know my role. I want to be a power forward that can play that's reliable defensively and also that play physical. So that's part of my game, and I love it. And I know that if I want to stick to the NHL, I got to play like that. Every game.
Sheldon's certainly good news for this group to see Pesh out there and sort of have him back in the mix, I would imagine.
Yeah, I mean, his on-ice impacts obviously are an important part of our team, but he's a big part of the personality of our team too, and keeps everything light and loose and fun. Yeah, he's got great experience and perspective, so yeah, certainly nice to have him.
Now, obviously you guys are leaving for this road trip, and he looked like a full participant. What's sort of the plan of attack here now when it comes to him?
Well, he's going to be on the trip, and there's nothing else to do in Vegas, so we may as well try to get him in a game. That's kind of the plan.
And then obviously no Arseni on the ice, and then the call-up of Legare today. How does that sort of impact things going forward here?
I lost the question. Who did you ask about? Who's
Gritz and Legare is here.
Yeah.
So it was the accent.
We need an extra. We did. We need an extra body on the road, being with the distance and such. So having that Gritzik's not going to travel. So yeah, we just wanted to have another guy handy.
When you talk about just going back to Brett and just like that personality, like how you mentioned it a little bit, but just like why is that so important to a group? Maybe particularly right now as well.
Yeah, well, like you say, right now, especially, and as much as he's here and he's in our room and around the guys on practice days and what have you, he's not in the fight with them, but he also hasn't been a part of what's been going on, losing and disappointments and all these kind of things. So he brings fresh energy, fresh legs, all that kind of stuff, and then when he also has the personality that he does, it can give the group a jolt. So I mean, we'll see what that means on the ice. He hasn't played a hockey game in quite a long time here now, so to think that he just shows up and all of a sudden our game snaps into place isn't realistic. We gotta focus on our game and playing the way that we showed we can. But we were unable to get to for a second time in a row the other day. And then, I think Pesh it helps the energy of the group. It'll be a lot more energetic on the plane, and the guys will be welcoming him back and feeling good about his presence. Like I said, because it's not just the on ice piece. That's probably going to take some time to get going, and but it helps the mood of the team. The mood and the vibe of the team, the morale of the group is very important, and. We're kind of a bit of the dog days here now as we're approaching Christmas, and it's nice to see him back.
But it does help you with, balancing those pairings.
Yeah,
right?
for sure.
Tremendously.
It does for sure. Let's just get Luke back on the left side. Even though I did think he did just fine on the right, it just, that's a pairing that we become quite comfortable with, and they're comfortable with each other. As I said, we'll have to see where Pesh's game is back. That's one practice that he's had, despite the fact that he skated a lot on his own and with the other injured players, which some days are more than the healthy ones that are practicing. But that's going to take some time. But having some comfort on that pairing, hopefully, is good for both of them.
Is Jack further along than you guys expected at this point? I saw yesterday that skating with the stick again.
Yeah, I don't think so. As far as what I'm told, which isn't much because he's far enough away that I'm not getting daily updates or anything like that. I think he's on schedule to get reevaluated, which will be after Christmas, and then kind of taking it from there. So it's encouraging, that he's everything's gone to plan, and he's feeling good enough to be able to do that. But he's not close to joining the group here yet.
You mentioned Gricic won't travel. Is there a timeline for him?
No timeline. They need a little bit of time here just to see exactly where he's at in his recovery, and hopefully by the time we come back, we'll have a better idea of whether he'll be ready to join the group or may need a little bit longer. But he's not available this week, so he won't travel as a result. So we can get some better treatment here.
And for Nemitz, who moves to IR today, is there a timeline for him?
Nemitz is going to be. In 2 weeks, they think they'll have a better idea of exactly, what the next steps are for him, but wouldn't expect to see him. I guess that's basically between now and about the new year. So we'll have more of an idea as the calendar turns.
Dadanoff still.
Another guy. I haven't got an update on him for quite a while, and that again tells me that he's ways away here yet. I think he's skating. I believe with a stick, but no pucks, so that's an indication maybe of where he's at.
When you talk about the morale and the vibes around the team, is this something that the call-ups kind of inject into the team? Like you have XP making his debut. Do they kind of add that positivity for you?
Quite honestly, I'd say no, just because I think it's, you bring guys up from the minors, they're not walking into the room and turning the music on real loud. They're kind of finding their way. But what I would say is it brings you fresh legs, fresh energy to the lineup. A little bit kind of the inverse of what I was talking about with Pesh. You don't really, he hasn't played a hockey game in a long time, and he's coming back from a tough injury. But he brings lots on the personality side. He's an established veteran player. The other guys, I think, they go about their business. They kind of keep to themselves, but they play with lots of energy. And they're excited to be here, and it shows in their play, especially when I look at XP and Cruikshank. Like these guys, they're energy players, they're skaters, they're workers. So that I think has brought a little bit of juice to the lower part of our lineup. That's been welcome at this time, and the longer they're here, I think they get comfortable, and then a little bit more of their personality and those kind of things, come out. But probably a lot to ask for a guy coming up from the minors to try to give an injection to the energy of the room, but certainly you can do it on the ice.
Lessons learned from the most recent game against Vegas going into this game against them tomorrow?
Well, yeah, there's some lessons there, but obviously it's one in which I thought we were slow and hesitant early in the game and couldn't really get our footing. Yet at the same time, we were right there, and it's 1-0 in the third period, and all of that. But what we learned and took away, it's one of, if not the best defensive team in the league, and we've had some struggles offensively, and we did on that day as well. So that's going to be a challenge just for us to break through, and then with that in mind, if that's going to be the case, then you got to be locked down defensively, and your special teams are going to have to be great. So lots of areas for us to be dialed in on as we start this trip.
Would you be able to enlighten us on your starting goalie tomorrow?
No. If you couldn't figure it out in the practice, then you're going to have to wait till tomorrow.
Coach, you shifted Mercer back to the wing for a couple games now. Just what are you seeing from him there?
Yeah, I've liked him. I think that line's done a good job. I mean, they did, in my mind, especially in periods 2 and 3, did everything but score the other day. I thought Mercer had a lot more time with the puck and you're not having to play low in our own zone. And I mean, in that Vancouver game specifically, there wasn't much time spent on our end. So he had so much more energy on offense, and you can see it. That makes a big difference. And generally that is the case when you're playing the wing. You're not having to skate the full length of the ice all the time. You're not having to grind out below the dots in your own end. So I saw some of that in the, I think it's been a couple of games here now. We just felt that, you know, the more and more guys, you take out Timo, you take out Gritsuk, all of a sudden you just don't have quite the same depth on the wings. So having the additional center like Mercer didn't make a lot of sense. I mean, so we needed to, you know, in order to get proper value from him, put him on the wing and you know, give us kind of two energy lines in lines 3 and 4, and try to hope that the other two lines can find some chemistry.